Hello everyone and welcome to CPAC 2023. I'm your host, Amelia Kane, and joining me today is senior Townhall writer and author of the book Fiery But Mostly Peaceful, Julio Rosas. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Can you describe for us what is going on our southern border, in your own words?
Well, the censored version, because I don't want to use any profanities, it's messed up. I mean, it's very tragic, and the main word I would use would be self-inflicted.
Yes.
And that's what makes the whole situation so frustrating. And that's what the panel. That was something that I really wanted to emphasize at the panel yesterday with Congressman Mark Green and Tom Homan, because the border and the issue of immigration has obviously been a problem for a very long time. It predates me, predates a lot of us here. But as we saw under the Trump administration, it can be progressed in a very good direction, and that's what was happening. And I was covering the border in 2019. I'd been there many times, and then the Biden administration took over, and we just saw a complete reversal of basically anything they've done, the Trump administration did. Because it was racist. Because we're the more compassionate, and it's been chaos. It's been chaos for over 2 years now, and not to be the bearer of doom and gloom, but really there's a House majority, which they're able to do some things, but even if let's say Republicans took back at the Senate as well, it would still be an issue because the problem didn't stem from this current acute problem didn't stem from the legislative branch, it stemmed from the executive branch.
Right. So what do you say to those who say there is no crisis on our southern border?
Well, they're delusional. I mean, and I would say most of the people that would say something like that, they actually haven't been to the border. And I mean, it's one of the reasons why I like my job is because it enables me to actually go out and talk to people and actually see them and how different parts of the country live. And we're all Americans, but obviously different parts of our nation have different cultures and different values, and it's actually really nice. And so I've been by no means like a Southern Texan, but I've definitely come to appreciate that kind of culture and aspect because they're the first ones to feel this impact. And it's not just Texas; it's Arizona, California, New Mexico, and again, one of the reasons why it's so heartbreaking to see is because a lot of the residents say they feel abandoned by the government, and to a certain point, they're right. But they've been abandoned by the executive branch. It's just the unfortunate aspect that this big issue of immigration and immigration enforcement lies within the executive branch and the people that they put in place to oversee these different departments and all this other stuff. So, to go down there and lend a voice to them and tell other people about what's happening is something that I take very seriously.
So what else have the locals told you that are along the southern border?
Just that, I mean, they've never seen anything like this. I mean, even in past surges, even under Obama, under Trump, they've never seen anything like it. And one of the most glaring examples of that is in Yuma, Arizona. I was just with the House Judiciary Committee having their first field hearing. The president of the hospital, which is the only major hospital to service 140,000 people, they're $26 million in unpaid services that they rendered to illegal immigrants. Because if someone's brought to the hospital, they will take care of them. But these people don't have that kind of money. And we're not even talking about like bumps and bruises. We're talking them needing heart surgery. We're talking about babies need to be in the NICU. We're talking about people being in intensive care for 60 days. I mean, these are costly services that they're providing to them, and they're not getting any money back because there's no money to get from them. And then on top of that, there's U.S. citizens in the area who are being bumped back. They had to delay inductions. They had to send people to Phoenix, which is over 180 miles away. And I've made that drive from Phoenix to Yuma. It's not a short drive at all by any stretch. And so the residents are being directly impacted this on stuff like health. I mean, that's serious, right? So when it comes to, again, people saying, it's not that big of a deal or it's just Republicans fear-mongering, I mean, it's like, no, this is a very real issue.
Absolutely, absolutely. Judicial Watch recently revealed HHS records detailing the nighttime transportation of unaccompanied alien children through various states. Is this common practice?
I mean, it's happened in the past before, but again, it's just like with everything that the Biden administration has done, it's taken a problem and made it 10 times worse, right?
Okay.
So with unaccompanied minors, yeah, the unaccompanied minors have come to the border in the past before. There's been surges before, but I mean, we're in the hundreds of thousands under this administration. I mean, it is unreal. I mean, they want to talk about the separation policy under Trump. Well, there's parents right now separating themselves from their kids to send them to our southern border, a very dangerous journey. So that because they know they're going to be let in because the Biden administration says, well, we're not going to turn them away. And so as a result of that, yeah, they're ferrying these kids all over the country to sponsors that they're not even vetting fully. So they don't even know who. Tom Homan yesterday said that HHS has lost track of over 40,000 kids. They have no idea where they are. They don't know where they are. They don't know who they're with. And that is why we've seen now an increase in child labor, in factories, in processing plants. I mean, this is, I just get really, it's because like it's a problem I first saw back in 2021. Like, okay, you're not going to turn away unaccompanied minors. We're going to see a giant increase. And what are they going to do? They're not going to go to school all the time, right? They're going to be forced to have to work. And honestly, and this is going to sound bad, but those are the lucky ones because the alternative is sex slavery, which is also dramatically increased. So it's a very big issue, and I go back to it, it's self-inflicted.
So, Mr. Rosas, what is the solution in all of this?
Well, as I was saying before, I mean, really, it's to go back. So it's to go back to the Trump administration policies. I mean, that's not me being a Trump guy for to say like whatever. But like things were working. Again, was it perfect? No, I don't. And I don't think the border will ever be fully secured, and I don't think that we'll ever get immigration like 100% right. But we can do way better than what's happening right now. And that's the problem because even if we were to say, let's say by some miracle the Biden administration completely reverses, like okay, let's secure the southern border. Well, now we've had so many babies that have been born. I mean, when I was covering the Del Rio Haitian bridge crisis back in 2021, there was just a constant stream of pregnant Haitians coming out to be taken to the hospital to give birth. So that's just one example. So we've had a lot of now U.S. citizens. With their mothers who are now in the process of asylum, their moms might not get asylum. So now we're basically gonna have another generation of dreamers because of what's happening right now. And so I'm not entirely sure what the solution is when it comes to the more nitty-gritty with immigration like that. But obviously, we can't even begin to address an issue like that if the door is wide open, which is what it is. So. Again, I hate to be kind of like the bearer of bad news, but really this is going to be an issue in terms of the security of the border for maybe another 2 years or a year and a half, give or take, depending on what happens in 2024. But even let's say we get a Trump or DeSantis or whoever in the White House, they're then going to have to deal with this massive immigration problem that the Biden administration has just completely unleashed.
Well, thank you so much, Julio.
Thank you for having me.
And for more on our work, please visit judicialwatch.org. Thank you.